Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another random whip and chat. Yes, I have nothing better to do with my life. I'm still not working, so until I am, be prepared because I'm probably going to do like nightly videos. But you don't have to watch if you don't want to, so it's up to you. Becky's here with me.
Woohoo!
And tonight, we're not going to do a specific topic. We're just going to be random and have squirrels and see what comes of it. So, it's been a very interesting week. Tonight's Sunday, so as I said in an earlier whip and chat, this week I destroyed a box spring and mattress. I had an old one in my house that I wanted to get rid of, and I tried giving it away and nobody would take it, so I advertised it on Facebook for free and nobody would take it.
It's a good thing they didn't.
And finally I was like, you know what? But where I live, you can't throw an entire mattress into the dumpster. So I scalped it. I took all the fabric off and then used wire cutters and tin snips to cut the frame into pieces and threw that in the dumpster. And there is dust all over my house. I'm still cleaning up from that. And it is no longer in my house.
You want to start over? Because I said it's a good thing they did.
Yeah, it was kind of disgusting. I got it from a friend who got it used, and it was just old, and I don't want to know how many dust mites were in that mattress, so it's a good thing that nobody took it, because, yeah, if you can help it, never get a used mattress. Especially with the bed bug epidemic that's going around.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of disgusting. But I did what I had to do, and so did my friend, and all is well that ends well. So we're just going to talk about our week, and I'll let Becky discuss what she did this week.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was distracted by numbers to think. So my nieces came into town, and it was my niece's 18th birthday, and so we had a fun time, and she came. It was the sweetest thing because they used to live here, and whenever they come back, all the kids like to pal up with their friends. And so the last night they were going to be here, my niece, whose birthday it was, she had scheduled to go to her best friend's for a sleepover. And it was so sweet because at dinner that night she called up her friend and said, would it be okay if she canceled because she hadn't spent enough time with me? And I'm like, oh. And, not having any kids, my nieces and nephews, I just adopt as my own. And so I had this, motherly feeling of, oh, she wants to spend time with her old aunt. And so it was really special. And to commemorate her being an adult now, I got some butterbeer. I mean, it's not labeled butterbeer at the store, but it's butterscotch cream soda. And it's like the something cauldron brand. Anyways, so it looks like beer bottles. And in our church, we don't drink alcohol or do drugs or even drink coffee. So we just played around we're rebelling. It was silly and fun. And so I took a picture of all of us sitting around because we were playing a game at the table. It was her and her sisters came over, so it was this girl party. It was really fun. And so we were all just woo. Anyways, it was silly. And so I sent a picture to my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and he wrote back saying, "Looks fun. That better be apple juice in those bottles." And it was just funny. He was joking, but it did look like we were having quite the party, and we were. It was fun. So that was that. Back to you, Marissa.
Well, I received some difficult news this week. And maybe this is oversharing, but it's YouTube. There's plenty of things on here that are oversharing.
Yeah.
I did my taxes, and I was expecting my refund, but a couple years ago, I had defaulted on my student loans. I know I'm bad, but I've been making payments on them to get them out of default and to get them caught up so that I can pay on them and get my credit back where it needs to be, because where it is right, it's kind of in the hole. Right now I could not buy a house if I wanted to. But I've been making the payments, and as far as I had understood it, as long as I was making the payments, they couldn't garnish my check or take my refund, yet this month they did both. So I have to make some phone calls tomorrow because I don't think they can do that, and I am not a happy person. So, yeah, I get to spend all day in the car on the phone tomorrow. Not at the same time, but I don't use my phone while driving. Unless it's an emergency.
Then she climbs out over to the back seat and answers the phone. I'm kidding. Bad joke.
It's like, how would I do that? I pull over
It's an
and
emergency.
answer my phone.
What if your mom called like 5 times in a row?
I would pull over. If somebody called me twice in a row, I would pull over.
Gotcha.
So we've got a puzzle going. We got to tell you about the Harry Potter puzzle.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Marissa is you used to be, well, you still are all about puzzles. And so she's like the puzzle queen. She like has shelves of puzzles, and I mean, she is just amazing. So one of our girls' weeks that we had a Harry Potter theme, and I thought, "Ooh, I'm going to challenge Marissa." There's like this puzzle that has like spiraled stairs. If you look on Amazon, you'll find it. It's just the Hogwarts stairs.
We'll include a link to it in the description.
Yeah. Ooh, I found the thing. And so, yeah, it backfired. I got stuck with the puzzle because it was ridiculous. Like, if you want to play a bad joke on somebody, then buy this puzzle and leave it behind with them. And
It took us probably 4 or 5 months.
Oh my gosh.
To do it. And I'm used to doing a puzzle in a week.
Yeah. Yeah. So it worked. I stumped her. I gave her a challenge of a puzzle that she couldn't tackle and finish in a day. But it backfired because I hated it, and I felt like I got the worst pain out of it all.
You didn't have your table.
No.
You didn't have your table for 4 months.
No, I didn't. Now it's become a trend, and we always have an unfinished puzzle on there.
But this one's going a lot faster.
Well, and it's Winnie the Pooh, so I'm all about it.
Yeah, we're working on a Winnie the Pooh puzzle. It's got all the main characters.
It's a fun one. Now you just have me addicted to diamond painting, and I feel like that puzzle's going to be there for another 5 months, which is totally fine. They're both fun to do.
Yeah. Becky gave the dog a bath tonight.
I did. He is adorable. He is so, so cute. He's my baby. Yes. And I got Marissa hooked on This Is Us, one of the best shows on television, and I dare say one of the best shows ever.
Fringe is good too.
Fringe is good. There's a lot of good shows. A lot of good ones. This one is family friendly. It's just everything about it is just kindness and love and understanding of differences and feelings, and they cover all sorts of stuff. They cover mental illness, they cover miscarriage, they cover, marital conflict and how to resolve the conflict. Oh man, they do a good job of covering a lot. Oh, and self-image. The sister, she struggles with her weight. That hits home. And they tackle that really well. So, oh my gosh, I can't even count the number of times that I just was like ugly cried from the episode. Like, boo.
I have not cried yet.
Well, we're just on episode 3, but it's gotten like tender. Haven't you felt the
feels?
feels?
I'd cry by episode 1.
Oh well, I guess I'm more sensitive than you or something.
We know that.
I know. Yes.
I'm callous and cynical and hard-hearted.
No, you're not. No,
I worked retail. I'm cynical.
No, you're just good at, I shouldn't say good, because you need to show your feelings more. But you're a little bit more shy with the crying. Whereas me, it just comes out.
I think you've only seen me cry the one time.
I know, but that was for a very good reason.
Yes, it was.
Somebody would not be in their right mind to not cry with that. I feel, okay, so little by little, over time, we have seen each other's, different sides of each other.
Pretty much every side.
That was a monumental time to have you come over and you just cried, because I'm like, oh, this is a new side I haven't seen before. I've been waiting for it. And, yeah.
Yeah, I had been crying while driving. I don't recommend that. It's very hard to see if you're crying while driving.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Oh, my goodness. And then you hadn't seen me really mad, and you also hadn't seen me full on cry. And you saw both of those at the same time. Nice. Oh, my gosh. She thought I hated her, that I was so mad at her. And I'm sitting in the front room here. It was one of our girls' weeks. I think I touched upon that in the other video. And I was just basket case. I'm like, I don't know what I'm mad about, and I don't know what I'm sad about, but I'm sad and I'm mad and I'm annoyed and I'm everything right now.
And I told her go take a shower.
I know. No, she sat down on the couch and her eyes were wide, what is happening right now?
And then I told you to go take a shower.
Yes, I said, how about? Well, you didn't say it as that. You're maybe you could try a shower. We also just
left the gym, so we were smelly.
Well, yeah, and so what had happened at the gym is I was wearing a hoodie, and I don't like crying in front of people if I can help it, especially strangers. And so I was trying to communicate with her, but I couldn't express myself without crying. I knew I was going to cry, so I put my hoodie over because I was starting to tears were coming, and I was just feeling simply overwhelmed. And once it's been about a week, I really start missing my husband, and so I was just feeling emotional. And then there was baking stuff all over the house.
There was bread everywhere.
Yeah,
like we mentioned in our other video.
Yeah, it was just everything was overstimulating, and so it was unfortunate because once I put the hood on, and I was trying to tell her that I'm sad, but she thought I was mad. And she was like, fine. And I'm like, oh no.
And then you stormed off.
Because I was starting to ugly cry.
I know, but then I got upset.
Uh-huh.
And it was a comedy of disasters.
Yeah, and we had fortunately drove separately. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I bawled all the way home. And then, anyways, it was an ugly mess. But she saw about 3 or 4 sides of me she hadn't seen before all at one time. And we refer to that as the Hulk. And the Hulk has only come out, well, I shouldn't say ever, but
I've only
very
seen
few
it
times.
Once.
Yes. And we do our best to keep the Hulk tucked away. And we have a very loving understanding about, when Becky needs her space. And I have to say, when you find, you have found a true best friend when they completely respect, boundaries and don't take things personally. So we have an understanding that if, I get overwhelmed and we happen to be on a girls' week, I say, you know, I need the house to myself.
Marissa, get out. I'll go home.
Okay. Yeah.
She won't say it like that, but that's the meaning.
Or we could say it in a way of like, would you like to see the Hulk? No, I'm gonna go home. So it's more of those things, like, it's not personal. It's like, there are 3 things in my life that I'm very protective of, and one is my husband, one is Henry, my dog, and then me is my sanity. And it's very important. It's kind of like a life or death, thing. Like, this is for my sanity. I'm not upset with you. It's just I'm overstimulated, and it's not just one thing. It's like there's too much going on, if maybe just in my head or environmental or both, whatever it is. I need clearance. I need my space. I just need to feel like I'm owning something and I have control over something. And in order to do that, it's like a painting. I need to just wipe the canvas clean and start again, because everything is getting muddy.
And it doesn't help right now that I'm slightly manic, which means I get on everybody's nerves.
But I have to say, with her and like on the horizon, the potential of a manic storm, and I wouldn't say it's here, but it's like it's there. It's building. For that, she's doing really good, because she knows that's like a trigger for me, and so she's very.
That'll get me booted.
You are being very like in control. It's awesome. You're doing really well, and
the storm will break when I get home.
Yeah. Well,
I'm hoping to diffuse it.
Well, here's the thing: is like your mania isn't a trigger when it's outside my house. It's because we were able to have like in small doses. We go to the gym and we go out and we're doing stuff.
Yeah. And like you send me home.
It's in my environment where I'm very sensitive. So.
Yep.
Anyways, so it's comical. We make light of it best we can, so nothing gets too serious. Mm-hmm. But this is a good activity, because I think that helps us both. Like, you just zero in. You're not over-focused on your mania feelings. I'm not over-focused on my depressed or, like, chaotic feelings.
The only problem is with the mania right now, I'm determined to finish this before I leave.
Well, one day at a time.
I'm a little obsessive right now, and it's like, I want to finish it before I leave.
Yeah, but you and I are going to go to bed at the same time, and we'll do that.
Know.
Yeah.
I have to go to bed at a decent time.
Yes, of course. And no sneaking out to work on it.
I don't sneak out. I just wake up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, well.
That's not my fault.
We'll sleep good tonight.
I hope so.
Positive, man.
Yes, I have been up since about 4 a.m., which is about the time Becky went to bed.
Well, it's not like she had like 10 bottles of Pepsi yesterday with caffeine.
I had 1 bottle of Pepsi and 1 mini bottles today. 1 mini of Pepsi and 1 mini of Mountain Dew. She's reduced it,
And it's textbook where it says caffeine is not good for bipolar people.
I know. I've had more water today than
What
soda.
does it do? It triggers mania.
Yes, I've had more water today than soda.
She's doing better today, and that's all that matters.
So hopefully I will sleep better.
You will sleep better. Positive affirmation.
And if not, I'll come out in diamond paint.
I'm going to feel better tomorrow, and you're going to sleep good tonight.
Yep.
That's the recipe.
And then we'll both get flat butts tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. No, I need to go and round out my butt. We need to go for walks. We're going to the gym.
Yep.
We'll let our butts sag and,
Oh, that's disgusting.
You sit and they squish, and so you get up and you're rounded out again.
Okay, new squirrel. I saw a squirrel today.
So did I. Just as long as they're not on my house, I'm happy to see them.
Yeah, it was in your backyard.
On the tree. I think we probably saw it at the same time.
I saw it out the bathroom window.
I was going to say I did too without making it wrong. It must have been the same one at different times. Oh boy.
That would be wrong.
Oh, that'll never happen. No. Awkward. Oh boy.
Okay, next subject. So I've mentioned my nephews before. I can't give any information on them because of the situation, but I've started teaching them their colors and numbers and letters and shapes, which has been a lot of fun. And when we went shopping the other day, I found some workbooks that I can work with them out of. So I'm really excited to do that with them because I used to be a teaching major. So to me, it's a lot of fun. I was teaching, I was nursing, I was missions. I don't know what I am. Now I'm into home health care, which, by the way, my clearances came back last night.
Yay!
So I emailed them to the company, and I should hear back tomorrow about when I can start work, or at least get a better idea of when I can start work. So that makes me happy because, yeah, I don't like this not working. It's a weird feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I've had the same job for 2.5 years, and now suddenly I have all this free time. Yes, it's nice to have free time to diamond paint, but you can only diamond paint so much.
Yeah. Some people, like, it's so cool when you can do a career with what you love. And that it helps keep you busy. And then there are things that, like, are hobbies that are fun to do, but they're not as satisfying on your mind, like something that you're passionate about.
Right.
And so it's, yeah.
Do you want to talk about your job a little?
Oh, sure. I work for this company. I work from home, and I work for this company that does website designs for photographers and artists. We build website styles, and we also provide plugins, gallery plugins. And I love it. I have the most kindest, wonderful boss ever. You know, when I told him that I had bipolar disorder, he said, "Becky, don't worry about it. Relationships are like a bank. You give deposits and you take withdrawals. You have so many deposits with me that you won't. Just don't worry." And I'm like, "Oh, it's so nice." And he is really, really nice. He does a really good job of, playing, playing the boss role, but also like a kind friend role. And so he's really good at challenging me when I'm having really, difficult days. I've illustrated it to him as, like, you're operating on broadband fast, like Google fiber internet speed, and you're so focused and you get a lot done. And then there are some days that, like, you're running on dial-up, like the where it takes, like, what would be on today's internet speed, like 10 seconds to download something. And then on my bad, like, depressed days, it takes like 20-30 minutes. I mean, it's horrible. And so he's really good at just talking through things with me and working out a solution so I can keep productive. I can keep, going. And oh my gosh, my therapist says, "Becky, don't you ever dare quit that job." Because he's like the best boss that you could ever have. He's just a very rare, like, employer. He's just amazing.
You tried to quit your job.
Well, okay, and that was good. And again, I had a conversation with him, and he was really, really kind and understanding. And my therapist and I talked about it, and we realized that what I needed was, like, reassurance, because I felt so terribly guilty. I was depressed. I was in a depressed episode, and I felt like I was undeserving of the job. And I didn't, in that thing, I don't want to bring anyone down. And I felt like I all but fired myself. And I felt like I could do that because I no longer have to be the breadwinner in my family, like our family. And so I felt that freedom. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, now I can just set my boss free of me. And so it was really, really nice. And what my therapist and I decided and I discussed with my boss is I basically just need a tune-up talk. Like I just need to follow up every 6 months, basically during the period of the year that's the hardest. January is the hardest time of the year for me. Like the beginning of September, end of August is another really difficult time for me. Those are very raw areas where I almost always have a depressed episode. And so if I can have this like check-in, tune-up talk with my boss, then it keeps me on track and I keep on, going. And that's kind of what I need to keep moving. And so anyways, it's just a really good boss. And I've been able, as of last September, I've been able to work part-time for the first time in 10 years. So I'm able to do my artwork part-time, and then I work for that job for my boss part-time. So I'm in a very happy place work-wise. So I'm very, very grateful. And technically, I don't have to work. My husband's business is doing really well. But like we just discussed, like it's nice to have that balance. It's nice to have the added income. And then my boss and my husband and I like all discussed that or I should say, positive, when my children's books and my artwork take off, then it would be a easier decision to just switch over to doing my artwork and my children's book full time. But my boss has reassured me that I would always have a job with him if I wanted to come back to work for him. It would just be a matter of like financially can it work out. So anyways, I'm very, very blessed, very, very fortunate to have him as my employer. So he's a rare gem. I am forgetting what I'm working on. Okay. I'm working on okay. All right,
my turn?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Or else I'll keep rambling.
That's all right. So I wasn't sure I wanted to bring this up, but I think I do. Just because for me it's something that's on my mind. And it's a squirrel. It might not be comfortable to everyone watching this, and if not, I apologize. You can mute the video for probably the next minute or so, but
What are you going to talk about?
Conference yesterday.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about skinny dipping. Just kidding. Random.
How did we go from conference?
Well, I'm saying, like, why would you want to plug your ears? Well, I don't want to talk about somebody going naked. But
every 6 months, our church has a conference worldwide. And yesterday, one of the speakers was speaking about how there's so much that you can do, that there's so many good things you can do in life, but obviously you can't do everything. So we simply need to do the best we can we simply need to do the best we can. And for me, that really hit home because there's so much going on in my life right now, and I know there's so many more things I should be doing, but I know that if I take them on, I'm going to crash emotionally. So it was comforting because it's like, okay, Heavenly Father knows my struggles and He knows what I'm going through, and this was for me. This was to let me know that he knows and He wants me to remember this. Okay, that's all. You can turn your volume back on.
now that they can hear you. Yeah.
So
It's overwhelming. Like I had yesterday there was a good talk. about the reverence of like going to. It's what I needed to hear, because it's not a matter of not really believing in the gospel, like everything that's taught at church. It's more of like this weird. The only way I can figure it out to describe it is like some sort of anxiety and just, I don't know, not really being driven to go to church on Sunday, because like I feel when I'm out with my friends and, you know, we strike up a conversation on spiritual topics or just really loving and supporting one another, that's like church for me. But it's like this ridiculous childlike rebellion, because why not go to church on Sunday? I'm surrounded by all my friends. But it's getting better, and with this talk that was given yesterday, it really kind of gave me, something clicked in my mind. So that was nice. But, you know, stuff like sometimes church talks or whatever can make you feel like, oh man, there's so much I need to be doing better, and that can really easily become a bummer. That's kind of what happened with today's talks. That I just need to listen to them again with a different mindset. I'm missing my husband, so my moods are kind of low, and I'm sure I heard all those talks wrong. But anyways, back to you.
We cleaned our cars out yesterday.
What?
We cleaned our cars out yesterday.
That's
and then I got
nice.
sugar all over Becky's car last night.
Okay. It's like getting a new pair of shoes. It's like getting a new car. You just don't want to scuff it up. And it was just freshly clean. All the crumbs were vacuumed up. It's my bad. I should have kept the cookie in the bag. But I'm like, hey, you want a cookie? And she took it. So I'm like, assuming you're going to eat it. Nope.
I had just eaten a ton of food.
Why didn't you tell me, like, I don't want to eat that right now?
I wasn't thinking.
I wasn't thinking either. Anyways, so unfortunate. But it's okay. I dusted it off.
A carb.
What?
It was a carb freeze in my brain.
A carb freeze?
Yeah, carbohydrates.
Free. Oh, clever. Clever.
Carbs.
Yes. Anyways, yep. But we got it. It's all right. Dusted it off. Anyways.
And I got new floor mats, and they're purple and black
I'm
stripes.
Jealous. I want to get something far out like that. I want to decorate my car all hippie-like.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I was so excited. We were so close to getting a second car, and I had all these dreams of how I was going to decorate it. Because, you know, when you're married, you compromise. And anyways, I'm sure he'd let me decorate our car here, but at the same time, it's nice to have something that's nice to have people ride in or whatever. I don't know. But I'll be excited when I get a car of my very own that I can express myself as an artist.
Do I want to ride in it?
Huh?
Is it going to be the hippie mobile?
Yes, of course. It's going to have diamond paintings all over it. Could you imagine having a roof of a car that's like a diamond painting? Anyways.
If you've ever seen Simply Nailogical, they dumped 100 coats of nail polish all over a car.
No, that's just no.
Or
yeah.
they did like 100 something on a car of nail polish.
Oh, that's
Then they took a bath in it.
Oh my gosh, people are weird.
So yeah, if any of you have ever seen Simply Nailogical, she's interesting.
I mean, definitely entertaining to watch, but like, why? There are YouTube, like really popular YouTube people that like put a bunch of Coke, like 2-liter bottles of soda into like a swimming pool, and it's just, that's all it is just soda, and they jump in and they swim around in it, and they make like hundreds of thousands of dollars just from that one video. Oh my gosh.
I want to know how much money she made for putting 100 coats of nail polish on her finger.
Oh wow.
One finger.
It's crazy what people can make money by doing.
I I don't make money from my YouTube videos. I don't have enough subscribers.
Well, everybody starts somewhere.
I know. But I'm not looking to make money from it.
But if you happen to, that why
Yep.
anybody would be happy from that. But anyway, for now we're having fun, huh?
Yep.
Just doing it for us.
For now, we're just being totally random.
Yeah.
Last night, they went to Country Cupboard and got chocolate.
And you're jealous, huh?
I am, because they were going to get me chocolate, and I went to Walmart, the Supercenter Walmart, and left my cell phone in the car, and they were trying to call me to see what chocolate I wanted, and they had my cell phone, so...
For the record, we offered to go in and get some.
But I was using somebody else's cell phone, and I didn't want to stay
Say
on
yes.
the phone.
On the phone long enough to say, yes, please get me chocolate.
Well, I didn't know what kind I wanted.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to decide on the spot. Anyways, we'll go again. You know we're going to go again.
Oh, yeah. You need more plants.
I love plants. I've been choosing to get plants that, for inside the house, that filter the air, which is awesome. Snake plants. I got a peace lily plant yesterday. And, there's ivy and so it's fun. Aloe vera. I
have a complaint to make.
Uh-oh.
Scrubs are expensive.
Oh, my gosh. Yes,
I know, you already heard this, but...
No. I'm saying yes, I agree. Oh, my gosh.
I went to Walmart last night, and first off, they didn't have any scrub tops that fit me. And it was a super Walmart, so you would think they had bigger sizes. But I did find some scrub pants. $13 a pair for scrub pants. Well, then I went online earlier to order shirts. And in total, for 3 outfits for work, it cost me about $120. I don't want to know how many regular clothes I could have bought for that.
Yeah.
Because each work shirt was about $25.
That's just for a top, and these just seem like simple material. Like, I don't get why it has to be so expensive.
It's just cotton, and it's plain. They're not even designs.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, you're under pressure to like get the outfits at a certain time, because I'm confident that, with time you can find one at reasonable prices.
Probably.
But you could be starting work.
I could be starting work this week.
Yeah.
So I have to have them.
We'll just have to keep an eye out for.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any stores that would be in most any city that it's your go-to to find really decent clothes for a really good price? If so, please comment. We're all about like thrift stores or any place that...
For larger sizes. I'm larger sized. So, or if you know websites that cater to plus size that are decently priced.
Yeah.
Because it's just so hard to find. And then you don't know if the clothes are actually the sizes that they say they are.
Well, one nice thing that I like about Amazon is you can easily just ship back.
Yeah.
You can return clothes, so that's always a favorite. I buy most things on Amazon.
Look on Amazon for scrubs.
You still can.
Yeah, well, I gotta wait till I get paid.
Yeah. Because if you find good prices there, you can always return the scrubs that you just bought if you wanted to.
Well, I need these ones to wear so I can work and get paid.
Yeah, Amazon Prime ships in 2 days.
Yes, I will keep these ones because I paid for them, but...
Yeah. So
and I don't know if I can return them.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, so yeah, scrubs are expensive. If you're going to go in the medical profession, make sure you're willing to pay half an arm for your uniforms.
Yeah. Find a good enough job, you can get it all back.
They're expensive because doctors wear them, and doctors make good money.
Oh my gosh, that is like a tangent. Oh my gosh, I could, so many opinions about the medicals. Yeah, we'll keep this conversation light. But one comment because I can't resist. Going into the ER, getting the bill for the ER, and having socks that they offered me, and they on the detailed bill that we got, the socks were $50. $50 for a pair of socks. And the doctor who came and saw me for 3 minutes, who offered me M&Ms because I had a panic attack, didn't know I had a panic attack. I couldn't breathe and my heart was racing. And that's what we found out that it was. And he said, well, I could give you some M&Ms. It'll make you feel better. I'm like, you piece of crap, doctor. Anyways, I paid him for those M&M offer $1,200. $1,200 for 3 minutes in telling me that I had a panic attack and here's some M&Ms. So much tangent. Mm-hmm. Okay, have you guys had, I mean, do you guys hear what I'm saying? Have you had a similar experience? Comment. I feel you. I'm like, that's just the beginning of many tangents about. Yeah. But on the bright side, one thing medical related that I absolutely love and I'm grateful for is my family doctor. If you have a family practice center in your town, go to them. It is amazing. And the comparison for that is when I first moved here, I went to the local hospital for privacy reasons. I won't say the name of it. But I did a blood panel I ordered a blood panel, and the bill for the blood panel was $450. $450 for a blood panel. We had moved from Los Angeles, and in Los Angeles, we live here in a very small town. So in Los Angeles, a blood panel was like roughly $150. And so to come here, $450, we disputed it, like we went back and forth with the hospital, and I think we cut it down in half, but still was far more expensive than in LA. It was crazy. And so we looked around and we found this family doctor, the family practice center here, and a blood panel, full blood panel is just roughly about like $115 for a full blood panel. And we are able to pay in cash, and a visit, just a doctor's visit, is like $60, or is it $60? Yeah. Okay, it's roughly about $60 for a visit. At the other hospital, it was $120 just for a visit to go and see the doctor.
How about your husband's ER visit?
Okay, here's the thing. This is touchy. So that was the positive. Let me continue with the positive of the family doctor. So, anyways, the prices are amazing. I go and fill out when you go to see your doctor there. You fill out a form that says, what are you here for? What are your symptoms? And then listed is a question like, would you like us to pray for you? And not only that, would you like us to pray with you in your visit? I mean, just very like, for somebody like myself who's religious, just to have that like consideration and just the peace of mind of like just so friendly, and you're not just a number, and you're there, they sit, and I even have follow-up emails from my doctor saying, I came across this article and about what we talked about when you were last here, and I think this will really help you. Read it and let me know what you think. I mean, just out of the blue, like, I thought of you. This may really help you. And anyways, I could go on. It's just amazing. That's the kind of medical like treatment that we need. Not my husband and I are in the bracket after the medical changes with insurance. We're in the bracket where we make too much to be approved for Obamacare, and we make too little to be able to afford the private insurance. So we have to pay everything out of pocket. And what's really frustrating, going on to my husband's ER experience, what we didn't know, had a kidney stone. He was in unbelievable pain. Oh, it was horrible, horrible pain. I was kind of freaked out because he was bent over and he was throwing up because he was in so much pain. I mean, there was nothing to give him relief. We thought, is it an appendix? Is his appendix going to burst? What is going on? So we tried urgent care because of our negative experience with me at the ER, but urgent care said we needed to go to ER because they couldn't treat him if if it was an appendix or even if it was a kidney stone. They couldn't treat him because if it was a bad, serious like kidney stone, he would need like surgery or, more than the urgent care could take. And so this was on the opposite side of town. So we go to the ER. He's really, really getting bad, and we had to wait. And so we were waiting in line. We were surrounded by these people in there who were having picnics. They were having picnics, and they were in ahead of the line for us to go into the ER. They were having picnics. One was crocheting, and I am so irate about it. It is absolutely ridiculous. They need to have a separate center for people who are in there because they have a sore throat or they have a cold. And so this one lady was all upset, and she walked out saying, "I have a cold and you guys are taking too long." And I'm pointing to my husband. I'm like, he is dying in pain here, and you are complaining about having cold symptoms. And this is the ER. This is the ER, guys, and I hate that. When the ER needs to be for true emergencies. Like, you are bleeding, you are in so much pain, you feel like you're dying, or you truly cannot breathe, or those types of things, And that just makes me so mad because of our experience. My husband, we didn't know what was going on with him. He's not many burly type guys cry in front of people. He was crying because he was in so much pain. And maybe it was the ER not managing correctly or whatever, but I do know from some relatives who do have worked in the ER and do that you have to, unless there's my husband couldn't breathe, or unless he was bleeding, he has to wait in line. And somebody who only has a cold has to be seen before him. That is wrong. I am sorry. I don't know if it's medical insurance issues or what it is, but the ER should be for people who it's an emergency. Anyways. Do you guys agree? Do you guys have any thoughts? I try my best to keep open-minded, but is there something that that I don't know that can explain why it's that way? So do you agree? Do you disagree? I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
And then Becky and I had a little disagreement on this the one night because I was sick. I had a super bad sore throat to the point I couldn't swallow water and I was getting dehydrated. And I don't know that I would classify it as an emergency because I could still breathe, but I knew I was getting dehydrated, and I've been there before, and I didn't want to let it get full on dehydration because then when they stick you with a needle, your veins collapse and it's painful, and I just didn't want to go there. So I went to the ER, and they were treating me like, oh, it's just a sore throat. Now, keep in mind, they weren't busy at all. There was no one there. They were just standing around gossiping. And the doctor came in and saw me for just a couple minutes. She's like, you just have a sore throat. Why are you here? I'm like, I can't swallow water. I don't want dehydration. And they did end up giving me fluids because I was dehydrated. But what they didn't realize is that their supervisor was going to come in and do a survey with me. And I told her, I'm like, your staff, all except one of them, treated me like I'm an incompetent fool for coming in for a sore throat in the middle of the night. And I didn't appreciate that. If they had been busy, if there had been a lot of people there, I would have tried to wait until morning, because I agree with Becky that the ER should be for emergencies. But I also realize I know my body, and with the meds I take, dehydration comes quick, and I didn't want that.
Well, just on the flip side, and I hope we don't get to the point where we're kind of frustrated with each other, but I think what a lot of the feelings with the coming in is like, once you're in, they have to see you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't know if like there's going to be a flood of people coming in who are bleeding out or whatever it is, and they still have to attend to you before they attend to those people.
If they're bleeding out, they see them first.
Well, what I'm just saying is, if there's a
Yeah.
surge of people who, like my husband,
Mm-hmm.
who are in there, they still have to see you.
Yeah.
They can't say, can you
I
step to
know.
the side while we bring him in? So that's why they get to that. And they've seen so many people like that.
I have
that,
an example. I have
Yeah.
an example.
Okay.
A year and a half ago, and this is on Becky's side.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the ER because I was feeling suicidal.
That's a legit emergency.
I was dangerous to myself.
Uh-huh.
I had already self-harmed. Don't worry, I'm not there now. Just so YouTube doesn't take this down, I am not in any danger right now.
Yeah.
I had self-harmed. I was suicidal, and the ER made us wait for 5 hours
Yep.
before they admitted me.
Yeah.
They did take me back to a waiting room so I couldn't leave, but nobody saw me. Nobody talked to me. And I could have left. I still could have left. There was a way out.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I didn't is because Becky sat there with me
Yeah.
and wouldn't let me leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's a legit emergency, and so yeah, it's just my pet peeve when it comes to colds. And again, I have brother-in-laws and my own brother who talk about their experiences in the ER, and it frustrates them to no end when people come in with colds, because they have to tend to them before they tend to those who are like my husband, who don't know if their appendix is going to burst or what is going on. And so the people with colds have to be looked at before them. And so that's why I think even if it's like very quiet at the ER when you go in, it's just an emergency room. You never know what's going to come in, and they would still have to see the person with a cold.
If it had been daylight, I would have gone to urgent care.
Yeah, and I know that. And, well, the thing of it is to everyone's pain threshold and their definition of what feels like an emergency, you made the best judgment call that you felt that you could. And there's no faulting that. All I'm saying is, from the other side of the coin,
I can see that. I can see that.
I just feel if people truly can wait, they're not gonna die, or and we've watched enough medical dramas that something like a cold, and people dismiss it and ends up being like some life-threatening thing. That's why I just think it's a personal judgment call. Like, but those people that were at the ER, they knew they had a cold.
And I'd been to the doctor twice. I had been to my doctor twice. And they'd put me on medicine. It didn't kick it. It came back.
Yeah.
So it's not like I waited till the middle of the night to say, oh, I'm sick. I need to.
I think there's a lot of elements that is messing some things up in the system to where people, their only option is the ER, which is ridiculous, because if you're feeling really, really sick, you don't have the option of an urgent care. And you can't see your family doctor for like 3 weeks or a month. Sometimes I've known people who, like, that's why they use the ER.
Although I did find out our one urgent care is open 24/7.
Well, there you go. Next time.
Yes, now I know.
You're awesome for being willing to do that. I think a lot of people just
I found out
abuse
I will
the
go.
ER. Yeah.
If it's not an emergency, I will go to the urgent care, because now I know.
And, there are people who, that's the way that they're raised. They don't know anything different. You're sick, you go to the ER. It's normal for them. and that's a problem. So anyways, I just feel like there needs to be something changed to where the ER is just for emergencies, not for colds. And I think what will help make that change is if they have a filtering section of the ER where those who seem to have just a cold can go through there and open up the main doors for those who can't breathe or are bent over in pain, have a splitting headache, and it's just they feel like they're dying. Those types of things. They can leave those doors open for those. And so like a free or inexpensive clinic or something, there needs to be some type of filtering in the ER.
I understand.
So...
Okay, let's move on to a more positive subject.
Yes, because I can get stuck on...
Let's get off this rant.
Anyways, okay. While we're still on it a little bit, if you disagree wholeheartedly, if you agree wholeheartedly, or if you have your own opinion, again, I try to keep an open mind.
Tell us.
Just please,
let us know.
Lay down your rant in the comment area. We want to hear it. And, yeah, that would...
No judgment, unless you're a troll.
Trolls will be booted.
Yes. Otherwise, you are free to express yourself. My channel is open for expression as long as it's legitimate.
Yeah, and clean language, too.
Yeah, please. The occasional cuss word is okay, but...
No F words, please.
Not the F word. And please open up your vocabulary. Don't use cuss language every other word.
Yeah.
There's a whole broad vocabulary out there. Use it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to get on this because that's a whole other rant that I can go on. Well, I think this is long enough. So now that we've ranted about taxes and Squirrel, yeah. Sorry, my phone beeped. It's my roommate. Now that we've ranted about taxes and medical care and talk nothing about diamond painting and the progress we're making.
I know. I keep getting distracted. I'm like, what letter or number am I on?
So anyway, I hope you all have a great night, and I hope your week is positive and fun-filled, and that sounds so cheerleady.
Valley girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheerleader.
Oh my, I just give up.
Cheerleadery.
No.
There we go.
No.
I get to drive a ton this week, so that'll be fun.
That is not fun to you?
No, it's not.
Oh, you're being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess I will see you all in the next video. I don't know if Becky will be with me or if it'll be Mackenzie again.
It depends on my sanity tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it depends on if she kicks me out.
We've discussed.
We have discussed.
We have discussed. Out of love.
Out of love, yes. But she may kick me out, and if that's the case, then I'll be with Mackenzie. But we're still gonna.
I'm still gonna come over.
We're gonna do a group whip and chat later this week, and we still want to do the live on Thursday night. So I hope I see a lot of you there, and have a great night, all. Bye.
Bye bye.